Morning.
Good morning.
Here we are.
So we are in Sophie's kitchen, and today we are making our first recipe, which is a chicken coconut soup with lots of red lentils, which is amazing for our health and well-being. And Sophie's going to talk us through what she's doing, and we're just going to have a bit of a chat while we do this. So you just started.
Yeah, so we just thought we'll just start browning off the chicken first of all. So I'll run through the rest of the recipe in a second. We thought we could get ahead of ourselves. So we're basically going to be putting the recipes together and then kind of serving them up so you can see what's what. But yeah, obviously this has got so many amazing properties to it. Some of the ingredients are amazing, and you can have it for a lunch or you can have it for a dinner. I tend to like serve this up during the evening, which is like perfect because it does feel like a proper meal. So any of your partners or husbands, they will be appreciative of it.
I'm going to be appreciative.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Sally's going to take some of this home with her, so that's obviously a good bonus.
Yeah.
Right, so just once we started off with chicken, so you can use chicken breast, you can use chicken thighs, whatever you prefer. I'm using 2 chicken breasts, so this will make four portions. Good quality, organic. What? Good sized portions. You're going to edit this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good sized portions for an evening meal. Yeah, so you have your soup. We're obviously going to fry all the vegetables down, put the stock in, put the coconut milk in, the red lentils, cook it down. We'll blend that up, and then you finish it off with the chicken, basically. So always start like doing the chicken first, and we're just going to leave that on low now. So,
so is the chicken going to stay in its chunks?
We're going to puree the soup. Yeah, we're going to puree the soup, and so then basically that's why it just feels like an actual real meal
more
as
like
well.
Almost like a sort of
not just like
just
like a lunchtime soup.
Yeah,
like if that's what I mean, like for partners and husbands and stuff.
Yeah,
it's great because you get that kind of like texture and meat.
Yeah, because one thing I keep going on about, we're recording this, it's in mid-September, and so we're heading into autumn, and I keep telling everybody about how this is a time to stop having raw foods and cold foods, because basically your body has to heat everything up to digest it. So when it's cold at this time of year, colder, you know, the salads and things, they're not seasonal. So if you think about the fact that every time of year, whatever seasonal has got exactly the right enzymes in it that are going to pep your body up, and either, you know, when the energy outside is very yang and hot, then we want yin foods, which are cold and cooling. And when we're now moving into the yin time of year, which will build to peak yin in the wintertime. So we want to eat more warming and yang foods so that our body's not having to work so hard to digest and assimilate all the nutrients. Yep. So I'm a massive fan of soups, and I have them almost pretty much every day. And I think it's great, you know, when you're busy. Sophie and I are both parents, and it's you know, you just
batch cook it. You literally have it. This freezes really well as well. So which is something I've learned as well from you, Sally. Just just doing the whole seasonal thing.
Yeah,
and like it just totally makes sense. I think I naturally will just do that, but now I know that that's what I should be doing as well. It just totally makes sense. So,
it does make sense. Yeah. And I learned that from, I don't know if anybody watching has heard of Fiona Campbell, who was a woman who walked around the world, and she wrote that On Foot Through Africa book.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
I really, really like her.
Yeah, she's back in those days, I mean, this was like probably in the 80s, I think, and she had this big shock of blonde hair, and she's quite sort of athletic looking, and I think she actually went out with Ray Mears at that time.
I think she did, didn't
she? And so a couple of years ago, when I was doing my alkalizing nutrition course, she came to a retreat that we were on, and because she now teaches wild food foraging, and she lives down in Devon.
Yeah.
And
she was on something the other week.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what her her page is called. I'll have a look up for it, but I've never seen anybody look so radiant. She was just glowing skin, amazing hair. She's probably older, I would say late 40s, maybe early 50s. And she was explaining to us about how when you learn how to forage for wild food, you don't need very much of it to fill you up because it's so nutrient dense.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens when people might find that when they're not eating very good quality food, you feel hungry all the time because you're actually not getting the vitamins and the minerals. So although sometimes people complain and say, oh, but it's expensive having organic food or this or that, you know, it really is worth investing a little bit more because your body will thank you for it. Your mind will be calm and your emotions will be settled, and it just all just works, builds to support your body. And if you're having the right stuff at the right time of year as well, that supports what your body naturally wants to be doing. So as we're moving into autumn, it's more root vegetables and mushrooms and stuff that grows in the ground now, because we're starting to get ready to hibernate.
That
makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely does. No, I'm definitely finding that side of it interesting. Right, so we'll go on to the actual soup now. So we've just got some spring onions, some carrots. There's 6 spring onions. There's a carrot, and I like a lot of ginger. But
that was like a big chunk,
wasn't
it?
So
probably
I think it's about
that looked a bit like that much.
So you probably want to, you know, an inch of ginger, but I do love it.
Yeah.
So ginger, that's quite good for.
Yeah, ginger's very. It would be what we call a pungent flavour, which is yang. So you know when we're talking about yin and yang, yang is summertime. It's heat, it's like a catalyst for making things happen. Yeah. And it has an upwards moving energy to it. So yin is obviously the opposite. It's downwards, inwards, it's nighttime, it's wintertime. And the pungent flavours, which is what we want in the autumn, are yang. So it's things like ginger, chilies, fennel, the onions, garlic, that sort of thing. It's, it helps to kind of internally warm the body and give us this lifting. You're not going to eat a soup. You're levitating.
But it's being consistent with it.
Yeah.
And letting your body just have those ingredients.
And obviously, when also ginger is a potent immune booster, which most people know. So, you know, it's something you can put some fresh ginger in your tea and hot water.
Yeah, I do hot water, lemon.
Yeah, really good for you. Very alkalizing. So this is a way of keeping bugs and viruses away, because our blood has a pH value and it wants to be between 7.2 and 7.4. And actually, there's a good way of remembering it, which is that very specifically, it should be 7.365. So there's 7 days a week and 365 days a year.
Wow.
But of course, you know, we're not static beings, so we change constantly all throughout the day and the night. But when, unfortunately, most of the things that we all like eating, our sort of standard British diet is all quite acid forming. And what they know, is that when all pathogens and bacteria and viruses really thrive and proliferate in an acid environment. So you want to constantly offset that by having lots of alkaline foods and things like lemon. I've got a really good chart which I can post in the comments, or people can email me if they want it, because it tells you the pH values of common foods, and some of them are quite surprising. And you know, as a very rough guide, alkaline foods are all your greens. Yeah. So everything like spinach and kale and so on. But even things like lemon, people always think that's acidic because it's got that very sharp taste to it, but it's actually really alkalizing. So that's why it's so good.
That's so good. And
start in the morning.
First drink of the day.
Yes. Gets your liver going.
And I've I've probably done that for the last 2 or 3 years actually.
Have you? Yeah. It's definitely.
If I feel like drinking, if I don't want tea, if I don't want anything, or on a hot day, I tend to just have hot lemon, and then just let it cool down and just drink it constantly throughout the day, really.
Yeah.
Right, so we've just softening the carrot, spring onion, and the ginger. So yeah, just on a low heat. We don't want to be sort of burning, and I've used just light and mild olive oil in both of these. So just half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of oil.
So people, do you normally cook with olive oil?
Yeah, well, I have loads of different oils. So it just depends on what I'm cooking. So obviously there's olive oils that will reach a high temperature and things like that. So your extra virgin olive oil, you don't really want to be using that on a high heat. That's more for like your dressings and stuff.
Yeah.
The main ones I use are groundnut oil, light and mild olive oil, and rapeseed oil is really good at high temperature as well.
Okay.
So
coconut oil.
Coconut oil I use, not as much out. I find that sometimes, depending on what I'm cooking, in fact, it'd be really good. Coconut oil would be fine in this because you've got the coconut milk. But sometimes I find that it's a bit overpowering in the dish.
Right.
I love it. I do love it. And I do like cooking with it. But it has to be the right dish to cook with it. Mm-hmm. Do you cook with coconut oil?
Yeah, I do. Because I had a food sensitivity test done a while ago. And they said that I had a problem with olives. Brilliant. So, I mean, I've never eaten olives. I don't eat them loads. I do like them.
Yeah.
And so then I thought, oh, well, I do cook with olive oil quite a lot. So, but I also cook with coconut. But the reason I'm so excited about doing all these recipes with you is because I just feel like I'm not really, much of a brilliant cook, and I'm not very good at knowing.
But you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it, yeah, definitely when I have time. But I don't know if people watching might agree that sometimes when you've just cooked something yourself, and then also because my son is 6, as a lot of you will know, and getting him to the table is a mission every night, and then he needs the loo, and then he wants to see the toy he wants, and then so many times I'm just like, I am sitting down to another cold meal. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh. Yeah. And so it's kind of taking the pleasure out of it for me. Yeah. So I want to learn to make some new things that I've got a bit bored of my own repertoire. And
I think it's just having, and then once you're kind of in a routine of, these recipes, it gives you a little bit more inspiration as well, isn't it? So they're like, oh, look, further, or, you could be cooking this and think, oh, actually, I want to put this with that. Or,
exactly.
Like that, which is what I really enjoyed as well. So they're nice and sauteed now. So we're going to go in. I just have to quickly look into my recipe book to make sure. I haven't done this one for a long time. So so we can add the chicken. Yeah, chicken. I've turned off the heat now, so we've got ahead of that.
Just stirring this. So do you have special saucepans or any special cooking stuff?
So, I mean, I have a wok, a frying pan, 3 saucepans that I use. So I've used like my biggest saucepan in this because you're going to have like a litre of stock going into this. So pretty basic, really.
It's like a heavy bottom.
It's a heavy bottom one. So they're the Brabanta ones, and we've had them for years, and they are incredible. They're really, really good sauce ones. Nice. We've got this induction hob, so there's only a certain amount of. I really struggled to find a wok that works on this. Oh right. So obviously woks are used from gas, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like hot.
Yeah, really hot.
So they don't really make them for these, which is really annoying. So I mean, I like a non-stick, Tefal, or I think this is a Dangerous Taste Difference.
Yeah,
that I found, but I love them, and to be honest, as soon as I feel like it's had its day, I'll go and buy another one. Yeah, because obviously I use them all the time. So
in a minute you can tell us about your sort of catering background. And
oh my
so
goodness,
that we know how it is that you know all this.
Absolutely.
So what are you about to
Right, so we're just going to add some curry powder, so you can decide how much you want to put in. Whether you want to use a mild, I'm using medium, because we've spoken about that we don't want anything kind of too spicy.
This is for menopausal women or perimenopausal. Obviously, things like hot spices and chilies can all bring on hot flushes and you know, the kind of consume your I mean, obviously you'd have to be eating a lot of them to really
actually
make a massive difference. But I guess some people are sensitive, and they even one coffee or one glass of wine or something can
and especially if this is a hot soup, and then you've added heat to it. So I'd just recommend just like a mild curry powder, just for like a little bit of flavour. And I'm adding a tablespoon or two, so you just do half tablespoon, you know, just whatever you think. But we are, we're adding a litre of chicken stock, and a whole tin of coconut milk. So hopefully it would all balance out. Anyway.
Yeah, coconut milk sort of takes the heat out.
So 2 tablespoons of curry powder, which I will add in of medium, because I have a husband that likes really spicy food.
Men always like spicy food in my experience. They just,
I've had
absolutely their taste buds.
I know. I had to tone him down when we first met, because I just said, you're not even tasting your food, like you are just heat. How can you even taste this? And since then, I think he's come down about 3 or 4 levels in his curry. Yeah, because I was just like it's not nice to like absolutely blow your head off. Yeah, and I do like spicy food as well, but we're now on the same level, which is really good. Okay, so you just need to just mix that in. If you do that, and then I'll come this side, and
this is smelling really good.
Yeah, it smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not very much in the way of veg in there, but I suppose actually though, this is just for 4 people, isn't it?
This is just for 4 people, right? So we're just going in with the red lentils.
Okay, so rinse the lentils.
Rinse them.
Now I spend a long time rinsing lentils, because basically I just put them in a bowl and I keep rinsing and I keep pouring off the kind of scum that comes off, because I have a really nice sweet potato and lentil soup, and it tells you to cook the lentils with the potatoes, but because that scum comes up, it's even if you scoop it off, it's not very nice.
No.
So I rinse and rinse and rinse, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and then when the water is finally kind of clear, because if you think about it, probably I'm basically going off the fact that my brother-in-law and his family have a gluten-free oatmeal farm down near Huntingdon. And so all of the oats are stored, you know, in huge warehouses on the floor, and they send them off to wholesale to like Nairn's oat cakes, and they go into a lot of the free-from recipes and stuff. But it's the same thing when you rinse them, you know, they're just full of dust and just dirt and whatever that they can't sort of.
They can't help doing that.
They're all the same. Yeah, like that. So I think if you want to be eating like really nice flavoured stuff, then a good rinse.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got tomato puree going in.
2 tablespoons of tomato puree. Okay. We'll just give that a mix. I'm just going to turn that
this
up
is just looking like this now.
You just want to get all these flavours kind of together first before we add all of the chicken stock and the coconut milk.
Yeah.
So the flavours from the curry powder and the tomato puree.
Oh, it smells
good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really is a good one, this is. So straight from there, we are going to add in the stock and coconut milk. So I've used chicken stock, you can use vegetable stock if you wanted to. So there's a litre of that. And then some coconut milk to just give that a bit of a...
I always squidge myself with this stuff. It just comes pouring out to cover my kitchen.
This is a full fat one. If you don't tend to get that if you're using a low fat. So what would you say? What's your views on low fat options?
Well, good question. I saw a thing the other day that said basically if you're going for low fat options, you could put the words chemical shitstorm in there, and I do actually agree with that. I really believe it. When they've processed stuff to take the fat out of it, then they have to add all because fat actually tastes nice, and it's the thing that switches off our satisfaction button. So ironically, we eat less when we eat really healthy fats, which are things like oily fish, nuts and seeds and avocados, stuff like that. Then, you know, that satisfaction button gets triggered in our brain, and we feel full and we feel complete, and we're not craving stuff. If you're eating low-fat food, it's had all that fat taken out, and then they've just added loads of sugar and loads of preservatives and flavour enhancers, because it doesn't taste very nice when it hasn't got fat in it. So, I think people often... do you think these days people are more on board with the fact that low fat's not healthy?
I think so. I'd like to think so anyway. And I think, you know, there's so many programs investigating these sorts of things as well. Yeah. You know, even like down to like the taste tests and stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's just, and the point that they get across is, you know, it's always better. Yeah. To have, I mean, when you were doing your, tell us about your catering training, and when you were doing it, were you encouraged just to use like full fat everything? And not at all. I mean, obviously when you're sort of in a kitchen and you are cooking, you do tend to cook with full fat everything. Yeah. But I can't remember there being a time where they instilled that, or, you know, sort of said like, this is the best. Yeah. This is the best option to use. I think that's just something that I've just learned over the years, really. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I could work in that environment now, though.
Really?
Just, yeah.
Why'd you say that?
Well, just unsociable hours to begin with, and just, you know, I just ended up just not enjoying it as much, and thinking this is now a chore. This is effort for me to do this, and kind of took the joy out of it. So I went off and did something else, and then this is why I'm coming back now, just to do this side of it.
Yeah. So you might have noticed we're wearing our Simply Sophie.
Yeah. So this is my old brand.
Yeah.
Which is going really well.
Yeah. So what is this meant to be boiling, by the way?
We can turn the heat up. Yeah. We'll turn it up. We'll bring it to a boil, and then basically we just want to be simmering it for a few minutes. Okay.
So your brand, what is Simply Sophie?
Yeah. So I so from going in from the hospitality industry, having a break from it all, but still having my love for cooking. Over lockdown, I just wanted to share some home cooking recipes with everybody. You know, I've always loved my cooking. I get that from my mum, and she's taught me a lot over the years. So actually, it's just been really nice just to show off what I love as well. Because quite often I was making loads and loads and loads of dishes. I cook every single night, fresh. That is my relaxing time, is reading my cookbooks, watching cookery programs. So it's just really nice to just share it with everybody else now. So it's become a thing on Instagram, and I do a Facebook Live every Friday night at 6 o'clock as well, which is going really well.
Your Friday Fakeaway.
Friday Night Fakeaway. So that's, you know, everyone loves a takeaway. I'm not a big fan. So I just wanted to kind of put easy recipes together to say, you can still have that taste that you get from a takeaway, but a lot healthier, clean, and you don't feel rubbish the next day. Yeah. So that's when it just kind of like rolled on from there, really. So,
and that's also partly why we're teaming up, because because of my work, I want to cook and share really healthy, nutritious ideas and tips and recipes with people. But like I said, I'm not an amazing cook. I can follow a recipe, but I want to expand my repertoire. But also, you know, my heart sinks when I read one of these things in the Saturday Times magazine or something, and I think, oh, that looks amazing, and then it's full of ingredients I don't really know what they are. I don't know where to get them from. I haven't got time, or stuff that takes a lot of preparation, or you know, whatever. So our goal is really to just do really simple but really flavoursome and healthy stuff that's going to balance your hormones, keep your immune system strong, keep your vitality and well-being.
Because I think like as soon as you start thinking, goodness, what can I do with chickpeas? What can I do with lentils? without it being too bland sometimes as well. So hopefully we're going to like get people to be.
And obviously that's a good point, because some people watching are going to be vegetarian or even vegan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we will aim to tell you what substitutes with this. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean tofu. Yeah, that would be really so nice in this. Yeah, tofu would be nice. Paneer, which is an Indian cheese.
Right. What is that?
Would be nice as well. In supermarkets? That's in all the supermarkets. And all you have to do with that is just sort of soak it in some hot water just to soften it up, and then it just literally needs like minutes. So you wouldn't even fry that already. You would fry tofu. Yeah. Because again, you want that crisp on it. That can be just too chewy and mummy. Yeah. But yeah, your paneer would just be, straight in here to finish off the dish just for like a few minutes. So when
so
you
what's
know,
happening with this then?
so as soon as you know that the lentils have cooked, the vegetables are really soft. So you'll know that because the soup will start to like get thicker. And that's just the lentils that have cooked and they've expanded. So at this point, we'll just turn off the heat, and then we just want to be blending that down. I know, I'm starving.
It's not even lunchtime.
I know, amazing. Right, so I've got to go over, or shall I just go over and...
Yeah. This way. You're just going to whiz it up,
just
are you?
Whiz it up. Okay, so we've just blended the soup down. Yeah, so I tend to leave a little bit of texture in the soup as well of the lentils. So as long as you've got all your vegetables down, you can kind of stop at that, and then you can see that there's still just one or two like lentils, or they're not completely blended. So that gives a nice texture to it. So in with the chicken. So you can, at this point, sorry, Sally, I might splash you on your
Don't splash when you eat.
Yeah, I know. We'll put that in gently. So you probably at this point want to just put it on low, just to get even though the chicken would be warmed through from the soup anyway, but if you want to warm it through. So just amazing.
So would you serve this with some bread?
Yeah, I would, just a nice little small wholemeal roll or a pita bread, or we tend to just get them really nice like stone baked wholemeal rolls, which are nice, or seeded, or lovely. So yeah, just portion it out into bowls.
And obviously, if you were, say, avoiding wheat or something like that, and you didn't want to have any bread with it, you could just give yourself extra chicken, and or put in extra veggies. You can even finish it with some nice broccoli or something like that, which would be quite nice.
I'm just going to finish this off with just some coriander, which is just one of my favourite herbs.
Yeah, me too.
I love it so much. And there we have it. So this is the chicken coconut stew with red lentils. I know, just balanced it.
Amazing.
So
wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Should we try it? Yeah, let's try it. I feel like Jamie Oliver.
Yeah.
He always gets right into it, doesn't he?
Might be hot.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I haven't had this for so long.
So delish. Yeah, definitely going to be.
We can have this for lunch as well, can't we?
Awesome. Make this, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So recipe coming up.
All right. See you soon.
Bye.